college in New York City, and after I went to college, I moved back to Wilmington, where I'm originally from, for a little bit. I had a really beat-up car that I drove around all the time, and I was heading back up to New York to a friend's party in Brooklyn. Drove up there, no problem. Went to the party, no problem. While at the party, a friend of mine said to me, "Hey, do you mind dropping me off in Manhattan? If you drive home through Manhattan, you don't have to go over the Verrazano Bridge, and therefore you don't pay any tolls." So somehow, for like an extra 45 minutes of drive time, he tricked me into thinking, that's a great idea, because I had no money. So I took him and his girlfriend, who's now his wife, in the car with me, and I drove into Manhattan. As I was getting off of the bridge into Manhattan, the engine on my car gave out. I really didn't know what was going on. The engine light came on, all control over the car gave out, and I just kind of coasted to the stop at the base of a bridge, which, to the New York Police Department's credit, it only took them about 35 seconds for them to yell at me to get the hell out of there. So I restarted the car, I got it going again, and my engine coolant light was on, and my check engine light was on, and all sorts of things. But we knew where a gas station was in New York City. This is Saturday night, I should say, and it's probably like after midnight at this point. We knew where a gas station was, because we went to school there, and we were just gonna drive there. I would probably just need to add some engine coolant. I don't know if you guys have ever heard me tell stories here. I don't know how to fix or do anything, so. Everything's like, oh, we probably just need this one thing, and it's never that. But anyway, that's what I thought. Well, on the way there, which was like maybe like 6, 7 blocks from the bridge, the car gave out again in traffic. And my friend, Andrew, to his credit, got out of the car and pushed so we could get out of the middle of the street. Now, later on, another friend of mine was like, wait, why didn't you let his girlfriend drive and you also get out and push? But whatever. I'm not a good person, I guess. I don't know, I didn't think of that. So Andrew pushed me through traffic in New York City, like another block. I got the car started again, finally made it to the gas station. Get to the gas station, I say goodnight to them. I'm just gonna go inside, get coolant, you guys go home. Nothing to worry about here. I pour the coolant into the car, get into the car, do like a K-turn, and as I'm pulling away, my friends stood there, God bless them, and they like pointed to the ground, and all the coolant that I had put into the car had just poured out of the car. So now it's like, 1 a.m. in New York City on a Saturday night. I had no money. I did not know what to do with my car. I couldn't like afford to park my car in New York overnight, let alone get it fixed. But I went into the gas station and was like, is there a mechanic around here? Is there anybody who can just kind of take a look at this? And weirdly, and this is the part of the story that like in hindsight, I really am just shocked that all this is true. Like there was a gas station, there was a garage, two mechanics that were available at 1 o'clock in the morning in New York City to work on my car. So I pull the car around as best I can, and I pull it into this garage, and that's where I met with a Pakistani guy and a Haitian guy who both barely speak English and both clearly hate each other. And I just know that because they argue with each other the entire time that they take a look at my car. And they look at the car for me, and I'm like, I don't have much money. Like, I can't really afford to fix this. Can you just get it running, and that's all I want to do, and then just get home? I kept thinking that, oh, it's a simple, like, cap on my coolant or something. Simple problem like that. So these guys, they start working on my car, and then they tell me that they're going to need a part. And there was a third guy there who was their manager. I don't know why there were 3 people working, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. He spoke great English and was like, we need to order a part. I was like, I don't have time to wait for a part. I don't have any place to go. I just didn't want to leave my car there because I thought it would cost like thousands of dollars. So they're like, well, we can try to like make a part. I'm like, that sounds great. So the guys start working on the car, and they like start cutting rubber, and they cut out a piece of pipe. What had happened is a pipe had corroded, so that is where the coolant went in. Well, they cut out rubber and built like this whole thing. And then the guy was like, this is how we do in poor country. And I was like, yes, and that's where I belong, apparently. And they fixed it. Like, it took hours. It was like 2, 3 hours. If they had charged me for labor per hours, I would have been like, I would not have been able to afford it. So I was talking to the guy who was the manager, and I sort of got a little bit of a friendship going on with him. He had family that was like from King of Prussia, and it was close enough for me to have anything in common with this guy. So I'll wrap this up. So he only charged me $187, which was way more money than I really could afford at that point, but I at least had a credit card that got me out of there for $187. I drove all the way home. It was like 7 in the morning when I got home. And there, like, the car was fixed, and I felt great. So I drove around, and the guy was like, this will last at least 2 weeks, it'll probably last 2 years. The very next day, I had to get my car towed to a real gas station. It cost me $500. But the point here is that they got me out of New York City, and that's my story about doing it. All right.